But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Well, come on, man, that kid was a cakewalk.
Nothing wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you're gonna give him a hard time. Floyd is not one of these guys that's gonna quit.
Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
But what we don't talk about is, how Canelo can look steroids. Why don't talk about that? Come on, man, that kid was a cakewalk. Always has have a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you going to give him a hard time. But is not one of these guys that's going to quit. Bud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford? Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory. Floyd Mayweather has clowned Canelo Alvarez after his defeat to Terence Crawford. He stated that Canelo is no longer the fighter he once was and argued that people have always overrated his status. Mayweather pointed out that he had confidence in Crawford from the start and proved it by placing a huge bet on him. His gamble paid off in a big way as he walked away with major winnings. An ex-account even shared the betting receipt, writing, "Looks like Floyd Mayweather walked away with a bag after he bet $50K on Terence Crawford to beat Canelo." After his loss to Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez still carried himself with confidence and composure. He acknowledged Crawford's skill, calling him a great fighter who earned his victory. Yet, Canelo made it clear that he is far from done. Despite the disappointment of losing, he emphasized that he feels physically strong and mentally prepared for what comes next. By expressing his willingness to face Crawford again in the future, Canelo signaled that his fighting spirit remains intact. This statement reflects his mindset as a competitor who refuses to walk away from a challenge, especially when his pride and legacy are on the line. Like I say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's going to be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I still taking risks because I love boxing. Cheering, if you continue, do you feel like this is still the Canelo Alvarez that we've all known and loved for all these years? Or do you feel like something's changed? Are you still the fighter that you were? No, I feel great. I feel great. I feel strong. Crawford he's a great fighter, skilled fighter, and I get the credit to Crawford obviously, and I feel great. I still feel the same. Ryan Garcia shared his reaction after Terence Crawford's dominant win and praised his performance in a big way. He tweeted saying, "I actually believe Crawford may be the best fighter of all time." Garcia explained that what Crawford showed in the ring proves his exceptional skills and mindset. For Ryan, this victory pushes Crawford into a legendary category, and he openly admits that such greatness is rare to witness in boxing history. Veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas broke down the fight by drawing a comparison to Canelo Alvarez's earlier loss against Floyd Mayweather. He argued that Canelo has always struggled with fighters who are quicker and sharper than him, pointing out that his footwork and hand speed remain a weakness even today. According to Atlas, these flaws were once again exposed by Terence Crawford, who, despite being inactive for a year, came in prepared and hungry. Crawford's timing and movement neutralized Canelo's power, just as Mayweather's precision once did. Atlas stressed that this result proves Canelo's limitations against elite technical boxers. while Crawford's victory adds another chapter to his already growing legacy from the beginning. That if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo, I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow. With faith with 2 out, laughter, and he's in there with a guy with quick faith and quicker hands. You know what? It's got none. It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Elise say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. Laughter, that was tonight. It was great. Let's put some context on this. It was great. Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring. Okay. Yeah. Really? Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that. Yep. He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball. Yeah. He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew what was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going to come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters. One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision, focus. Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about, and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff, but eyes, radar? This guy's got infrared. Sports journalist Ariel Helwani quickly reported the official decision on social media, confirming what many watching already felt was clear. He tweeted official Terence Crawford defera Canelo Alvarez via UD 116,112,115,113,115. The unanimous decision highlighted that the judges saw Crawford as the consistent winner across the rounds. Even though the scores were close, the outcome reflected Crawford's superior control of the fight. Helwani's update spread rapidly, cementing the fact that history had been made with Crawford overcoming one of boxing's most famous champions. The official numbers gave way to the idea that this was not just a victory, but a calculated and disciplined performance that secured Crawford's place among the sport's elites. Teofimo Lopez, known for his own boldness in the ring, reacted with admiration for Crawford's achievement. He highlighted that the fight brought together 2 of the best in the world. And in his view, the right man emerged victorious. By stating that Crawford now belongs in the top 10 of all-time great fighters, Lopez underlined the magnitude of this win. For him, Crawford's style, composure, and execution set him apart as not only the winner of the night, but as someone carving out a place in boxing history. Such praise from an active champion further validates the significance of Crawford's victory and how it is perceived within the boxing community. Of his prime. How can you gauge it? Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight. Did we not? That's all that matters. 2 guys risked it, and you, the better man, won tonight. That was Crawford. Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? 'Cause it was pretty good like you said. No, it was pretty, yeah. It was really good actually. So, it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants. What do you think happens with Canelo next after this? What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So, he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way continuing to create greatness, mentally. Mentally, what's up? Crawford. I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So they were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man? At least top 10. At least top 10. Top 10 or top 15 easily. You know his guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time. Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo, like it's just different. It's just different styles, different looks. You know, at the post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez was asked about his experience facing both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. His response quickly drew attention, especially when he compared the two champions. Canelo openly stated that Crawford impressed him more, particularly in the later championship rounds where control and sharpness matter most. He emphasized his view by saying, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." This bold statement not only praised Crawford's performance, but also sparked debate among fans about how the two legends truly compare in boxing history. In a world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can. No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. In the aftermath of the loss, speculation around Canelo Alvarez's future began to grow. His comments and demeanor hinted that he might be considering retirement, especially as Crawford's win has shifted the balance of boxing spotlight. The fight was described as one where Crawford schooled Canelo, using ring